Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to rock.
Hey, I'm ready to rock too. Today, we are reviewing Bright Samurai Soul. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. D, like you always tell everybody.
Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, podcast in the description, and thank you for watching.
Hey, okay. All right. I see you.
Man, a little fun, there, man. You know? Hey, this was a great watch, Figured I'd have a little fun.
Oh, for sure. It definitely was a great watch. So pretty much Bright Samurai Soul, it is anime based off of the Bright movie that had Will Smith in it that came out a couple of years ago. And this movie takes place years before that movie. It takes place in feudal Japan, and the main character's name is Izo. And did I say it right? Izo or Izoi? Sorry, Izoi.
Izo.
I did say it right?
Yes, you had it.
Okay, all right. So I said it right the first time. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so Izoi. And pretty much he's a Ronin samurai, and he is tasked with protecting the elf along with an orc named Raiden. And when I was watching this, I was getting Samurai Champloo vibes. I thought that the adventure that they were going on, because they're trying to get the elf to the Northern Elves, which is a place where it's a village just filled with elves. Because as you remember in the Bright movie, if you have watched it, elves were treated horribly. Same like the orcs. The orcs were treated horribly as well. And Raiden, he was an orc that was working for somebody, and this was like his final job. And he ended up saving the elf. And I can't remember. The elf's name was it Sonya?
Yes.
Okay.
Sonya.
So it's like they were tasked with saving and protecting Sonya. And like I said, Samurai Champloo vibes. The animation was on point. The fight scenes were on point. Like, I wasn't expecting this to be as gory as it was, but everything just looked so beautiful. Like, from the transitions with everything. If I could compare the animation to something, I would compare it to Marvel What If in a way, and also Star Wars Visions, because just because of the animation style. But I highly recommend it. D, what were some of your thoughts on this anime?
I highly enjoyed it. I have to back you up on basically everything you said. I don't disagree with any of your comparisons. I do think that the two, once they come together, it's kind of like after Spike and Jet kind of got to know each other and started kind of mingling together and stuff. That's kind of where we end, because we know how Samurai Champloo ends. And I don't know, man. It was fun. A fun watch, quick watch. It's like I couldn't believe how fast it went by because of the story pace. The pace was nice, and it had a very Star Wars Vision feel, I would say, as far as the combat went. Very gory, like you said. I recommend this for anybody who's a huge fantasy, kind of Dungeons and Dragons liker, because it's just like elves are disliked in most stories I've ever seen them in. So
I agree with you.
Phenomenal watch. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because that's the same thing like with what game is that? Like Dragon Age. Like the elves are treated like they're disliked because they know magic and stuff like that. And
Lord of the Rings, they don't really like them in that either. That's another one. Dang, what else? The Witcher.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Witcher is another one.
The Witcher's another one. Elves are outsiders.
I just want to say that I like the fact that they went with not anime. I do like the fact that they went with the anime, because honestly, I enjoyed this more than the Bright movie.
No question.
I did enjoy the Bright movie, but I know that there were a couple of people that, well, not a couple, but a lot of people that didn't enjoy the Bright movie. But I enjoyed it.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, it was nothing. It was nothing to write home.
Go ahead.
But
I was just gonna go ahead, Max.
No, I was just gonna say I enjoyed this more than the Bright movie. There were some similarities because, as you know, in the Bright movie, Will Smith's character and the orc that was with him, like they were tasked with protecting the elf. And like this is pretty much the same thing, but it's just set in feudal Japan. Now, D, I wanted to ask you this question before you say what you were going to say. What do you like more? Because I just noticed that when you have like certain TV shows or movies or something like that, and whenever they do these stories where they go back in time, it's either the period piece that they go with is either medieval or feudal. Now, like, why do you think that they do that? And what do you like more? Do you like when they go to feudal Japan, or do you like when they go medieval and, you know, they go back to the castles and all that stuff? Like, what do you like more?
Me personally, I could go with either. I'm a huge medieval fan. You know, I'm a huge fan of things like that where it goes back to a time without guns, if you will.
Yeah.
In any facet, or like even like a Sherlock Holmes where it's early into the development of like firearms and things like that. Like everybody doesn't have one. So I would go with, you know, one of my top 5 animes is Basculus, which is, you know, it's like a feudal Japan equivalent of Romeo and Juliet, you know, where you have this set of ninjas, and they have to fight it out. And it's just fun, man. It's something about the choreographics that you get when you're doing hand-to-hand stuff. And I mean, you saw how this was. Phenomenal. And I would say that this would be a better movie or a better live action than the other Bright. Even if this was live action, this would have been sick. So now, I mean,
something else I want. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, because you were gonna say something before.
I mean, I blended it all together.
Okay, so you know, one thing that I wanted to touch on was when I watched this, I enjoyed this way more than Yasuke. And you know, Yasuke came out this year as well, and it was set in feudal Japan. And the difference between this and Yasuke is that we already know with Bright what we're getting into, whereas with Yasuke, it was it was about a real person, but then like they added like all of the other crazy elements to it. And that was the thing that a lot of people didn't like, but there were some people out there, because like we did do a review on Yasuke, and I know you and Trav, y'all were just like, it was okay, but I was just like, you know, it was all right. But this, it's like I said, we already knew that it was going to be a fantasy setting. It was set in feudal Japan. We already know the world and whatnot. And it's just interesting seeing like how they brought the magical creatures to feudal Japan. You know, like we had the elves, we had the dwarfs, we had the orcs. You still had humans. You had the what was it? The not a centaur. Was he a centaur?
Yes, they had the centaurs. You had the goblins, dwarves, elves, orcs, humans.
Yeah.
Well, so, technically, you had 2 different types of elves, I guess, if you want, because they were technically.
Yeah, it was just or like the gremlins. They had gremlins in it as well.
Yeah, it's just this is how it's it just I feel for what Bright as a franchise or whatnot, what they want to do, this time period just fits it. It just fits the mold, because elves, dwarves, all that stuff fantasy wise are always depicted in like a medieval setting.
Yeah.
So it only made, you know what I'm saying? It just went hand in hand. So,
yeah. Now, my final thing that I want to say before we wrap this up is the only thing that I'm disappointed about with this is because I would like to see a sequel, but just a spoiler alert, it's not going to ruin the movie for you, but the way that the movie ends, I mean, it just kind of ends like,
there could be a continuation in a different era.
Well, not even that. Like,
are you talking about like the wand falling into?
Yeah, because the wand, like it just feels like that. With the way that it ended, that
kind of open ended.
Like there's not going to be a sequel. It's going straight to the Bright movie. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the only thing. Because it's like I would like to see what would happen with the characters next. Yeah,
I like to see them come back. Yeah, I thought that for what it was worth,
very interesting.
Yeah, even the villains in the movie were they were phenomenal. I wasn't gonna drop the big F there. It was just I was gonna say phenomenal, because like the main, I guess, were they mercenaries?
Yes.
Is that what they? Yeah. Now, like the leader, he had all the rifles. I can dig that because he actually reminds me of the game, the franchise, Samurai Warriors.
Yeah.
Which is like it's like, I guess it's by the same people as Dynasty Warriors. But there's the guy that I played with in that game years ago. He was a guy who had a triple barrel rifle. Mm-hmm. And it was just like it reminded me of him, like his whole attitude, demeanor, because he was a mercenary as well. Yeah. And it was very relatable and fun, easy to watch.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Now, one other thing I wanted to touch on too is the parts where we saw like the government officials. Like I was getting Mobile Suit Gundam vibes with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Outfits that they were wearing and whatnot, and how we see that. I don't want to give too much away, but when we see certain characters and whatnot, and seeing like what they end up becoming, just the transition, like because the main villain, like he reminded me of Char. You know what I'm saying? So it was just interesting. Like
that swag.
Seeing that aspect and whatnot, and just seeing how good he was, seeing how fast he was, in combat. So with that being said, I'm giving this movie a 10. Like it was awesome from beginning to end. Like I said, the animation, the music, the fight choreography, like everything about this was awesome. D, final thoughts, final rating for the movie?
Final thoughts was amazing. If you haven't seen it, hopefully it's on a lot of everybody's, the followers, the listeners. I hope this is on your radar. If not, get over to Netflix, add it to your list and watch it, the next rainy day or day off. It's a phenomenal watch, easy to get through, 10 out of 10.
Okay, cool. And if you have seen it, let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you haven't seen it, we hope that you watch our review and then you go and watch the movie and then come back here and let us know what you thought about it. And with that being said, thank you again for watching this review. D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
As always, thank you everybody for watching. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and you can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Banks, hey, look, man, they got it done today, but if they do need you next time, when that wand comes back up, tell them where they can find you.
Hey, bro, I'm going to pull a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and I'm going to go back in time and help them out. Man. And when they do send me back in time, they can reach me just like you guys at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. Then you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure you check out some more of our reviews, interviews, and reaction videos that we do have here on the channel. Our podcast where we drop brand new episodes every Tuesday. And then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.